The great house at Collinwood in the year 1841. For over a century and a half, the Collins family has been haunted by a curse set upon them by one of their own ancestors. On the night that is approaching, Kendrick Young, who has just married into the family, is waiting to enter the legendary locked room. He will never enter, for another member of the family, motivated by insane jealousy, has committed an act of violence which could lead to the final downfall of the Collins family.
Bramwell. Bramwell! Now you know where my wife's affections really lie.
You had no right to do this!
I told you, Kendrick, I had to find a solution to this, and I found it. Will she love him in the morning like she loves him now?
Bramwell? Bramwell, it's Catherine. Bramwell, can you hear me? Bramwell, are you all right? Oh, why don't you say something?
Catherine?
Bramwell?
Yes!
Are you all right? Are you all right?
Yes! Can't you open the door?
No. Morgan has the key. He's determined that you're to spend the night in that room.
Morgan is the only one who has a key to this room.
Yes, he's hidden it and he won't tell anyone where it is.
He must be insane.
Oh, Bramwell, if there was only some way I could help you.
No, Catherine. I can try to break down these doors, but they're too heavy.
Then there is no other way out of this?
No. No, Catherine, I'll stay here and do whatever it is I must do.
And I'll stay with you. All night, right here outside the door. And we'll talk to one another.
No, Catherine, that won't do any good. Whatever is destined to happen here will happen regardless of what we do. It would be just as well that you don't stay by the door.
Well, I don't understand how this happened.
I received...
How was Morgan able to get you to come up
I
here?
received a note from Morgan. I'll read it to you. Bramwell, I know the truth now. Are you man enough to face me? The west wing of Collinwood at 5 o'clock. Morgan.
Truth? What does he mean by that?
It only mean one thing.
He knows about the chart?
Yes.
But how? How? I never told anyone, and I'm sure you didn't.
I don't know, Catherine. But when I came in here to look for him, I was hit from behind. He must have been hiding in here. I don't know what he's done. You must go downstairs and face him.
No, I don't want to leave you.
Catherine, there's nothing you can do. If I thought there was anything that you could help me with, I'd say stay. But go downstairs. I'll look after myself the best way I can.
Morgan, will you please come to your senses?
You're wasting your time, Julia.
This is the last time I will ask you.
You may ask, demand, cajole, threaten me until hell won't have it, Julia. But Bramwell is spending the night in that room.
What do you hope to gain by doing this?
The satisfaction of seeing him either dead or insane in the morning.
Yes? And what about Melanie? Don't you care about her?
Oh, I took Melanie into consideration. The prophecy said that she would remain insane until someone went into that room. Well, someone has gone into the room.
I was the one picked to go into the room.
That makes no difference.
How do you know that?
Our ancestor Brutus Collins only wants a sacrificial lamb. He doesn't care who it is as long as it's a member of the family. I think that Bramwell is eminently more qualified than you.
Morgan, if Melanie is not well again after the night is over, I am holding you responsible.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm promising you.
How dare you?
Now, just a minute. Stop it, both of you. We've got a whole night to get through. We must not fight.
You're quite white, Julia. There's no point to that.
Morgan, I don't understand why you've done a thing like this. Could you explain it to me?
Well, I don't see what's so difficult to understand. You know my feelings about Bramwell.
Yes, but why did you suddenly act now? In this particular way?
For an answer to that, Julia, why don't you ask the little mother?
The little mother. What on earth does that mean?
Morgan, I'd like to see you upstairs alone.
Wait a moment. I demand some kind of explanation.
We really shouldn't leave the family in suspense now, should we, darling?
Well, Catherine.
I am going to have a child.
Well, a baby. Well, my congratulations to both of you. But what does it have to do with...
A happy little announcement has been made now, Julia. I think that's all need to be discussed. If you don't mind, I'd like to discuss something with my wife.
Did you go to the room, Catherine?
Yes.
What about Bramwell?
I spoke to him. He's all right for now.
Come along, Catherine.
I don't understand what it all means.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
Better explain it to me.
No, not now. Perhaps not ever.
Julia, you know a lot more about the locked room than I do. What is going to happen to Bramwell?
I have no idea.
Well, you must have some idea. You've seen what happens to others.
No one has ever known what happens to anyone in the room. We just know the results. Death, or madness, or possession.
But didn't you and Morgan go into the room?
Yes? Yes, Morgan took me in there during the day when it was safe, but it was still a terrifying experience.
Why?
Because Morgan took me into an adjoining room, a secret file room. No.
What's the matter, Julia?
I just remembered something that Morgan told me. Something that Bramwell must not do.
Well, what is it?
Inside that room are two corpses. They were both murdered in 1680 by Brutus Collins. They're somehow, I don't know how he did it, but they're still perfectly preserved.
Perfectly preserved?
Yes. Yes, and the thing Bramwell must not do is to touch either of the corpses.
Why not?
I'll explain it on the way up. Let's hurry.
I've been waiting for you, Brutus Collins. Show yourself and be finished with it.
Bramwell? Bramwell? Can you hear me? Bramwell? Bramwell, there's something I must tell you. Can you hear me? Bramwell? Bramwell?
Yes, Julia, I hear you.
Are you all right?
Yes.
Have you found the secret room?
Yes, just a few minutes ago. I was in there when I heard you.
Bramwell, listen to me. Whatever you do, you must not touch either of the corpses in that room.
Why not?
Because that's the mistake that Morgan made. And that's what led to his possession.
Who were those people in there?
James Forsythe and Amanda Collins.
How did the corpses get there?
Well, Amanda was the wife of Brutus, but she was also in love with James Forsythe. Brutus killed them both and left them there.
A horrible way for them to have died.
Remember what I said, Bramwell, and stay away from them.
Yes, yes. Can you tell me anything else, Julia?
No.
How's Catherine?
I don't know. She's with Morgan. Bramwell, I want you to know we're praying for you.
Thank you, Julia.
Well, Catherine?
Morgan, I don't know how to begin.
Well, I'd ask you to begin at the beginning. But I expect that would take you all the way back to your childhood. Or rather, yours and Bramwell's. That is when this cheap little love affair began, isn't it?
Morgan, I know I've done you a great wrong. I just don't know how to defend myself.
Tell me, were you intimate from the beginning, or was that a development after you met me?
Please, Morgan, don't.
How completely blind I was. To blame Bramwell alone for Daphne's death. You are just as responsible as he is. Even more so because she was your own sister.
No, don't. You know I would never have wanted to hurt her. That's not true.
Daphne is dead. That is true. You and Bramwell killed her.
Oh.
That is also very true. You are what is false. You and Bramwell. Daphne knew it from the beginning, just as I did.
You did.
But there was a great difference between Daphne and me. She wasn't able to lie to herself as I was. She wasn't able to convince herself that everything would turn out all right as I did. Until something happened that even I couldn't rationalize away.
What was that?
I followed you last night. I saw you in his arms in the gazebo. And I heard you talking about the child.
I knew something was wrong when I came home last night. You had changed somehow. I should have guessed why.
I can never hope to describe to you how I felt. To suddenly know that it was never me that you loved.
Oh, Morgan, that isn't true.
Catherine, this is no time for denials. It is true. You love Bramwell. The only thing I can't understand is why you couldn't be honest. How could you let it go so far?
Because I didn't know. Morgan, it was a moment of weakness.
A moment of weakness? How charitable you are with your own
It
sins.
happened before we were married.
But while we were engaged, or are you going to deny that too?
I can't deny it.
But you went ahead and married me anyway.
Because I didn't dream. I didn't find out about the baby until after we were married. Morgan, I won't ask you to forgive me.
That's fine. Because I don't intend to.
What are you going to do?
About us?
And Bramwell?
Well, at least you're being honest about one thing. You're admitting your concern is for
The
Bramwell.
concern is that no one is harmed ever again.
Oh, do you think pain is as easy to remove as it is to inflict?
Morgan, I know I can't undo the wrong I've done you.
Correct. But there is one way I can gain some small measure of satisfaction, and I have done it.
By locking Bramwell up in that room.
Yes. And I hope he rots there.
Oh, Morgan, please have mercy, I beg of you. Take your wrath out on me because I deserve it, but please, please set him free. If you will. I swear as God is my witness, I will never set eyes on him again.
I don't believe you, Catherine. And my guess is that God doesn't either. I don't think there's a power on this earth that can ever separate you and Bramwell.
Morgan, I humiliate myself in front of you. I get down on my knees. I swear to you I'll do anything in the world you ask. Morgan, if you do this one last thing for me, I'll be yours. Yours forever.
Your love for Bramwell is really that great. Very well. I'll let him out.
Will?
Yes. We'll go to the locked room together. And I'll unlock the door.
Only 8 o'clock, still 10 hours to wait.
Yes, I know.
How can you sit there so calmly?
I'm not in the least calm. I've just learned to endure the waiting.
Why bother to wait at all?
What do you mean?
Why don't we just go up there and break down the door?
Oh, that would only make matters worse.
Why?
Because someone has to spend the entire night in the locked room. That's the way it's always been.
Well, what if it was changed this time?
Now, we've tried to break the curse before, but if we went in there now and got Bramwell out, it would only make the ghost of Brutus Collins angrier than ever.
I don't know how you can bear it.
You will when you've been here long enough.
I'm going up to see Melanie.
I don't hear anything.
He's most likely down in the secret file room. I'll get the key.
Morgan, thank you.
Don't thank me.
You won't regret it, I swear to you.
No, I'm sure I won't.
Morgan, no! Morgan, what are you doing?
You don't believe I believed a word you said for a minute, do you?
Morgan, you're not going to shut me up in this room.
Oh, yes, I am, my dear unfaithful wife.
Morgan, you can't.
You and Bramwell wanted to be together. Well, you are together. And I hope you rot together like James and Amanda did.